The truth is, manipulation is everywhere. In relationships, at work, in marketing, even in casual conversations. But what exactly makes manipulation so powerful? And more importantly, how can you recognize it before you fall for it? Today, we're breaking down some of the most common tactics used to influence people. And trust me, by the end, you'll see how many of these have already been used on you. Let's start with one of the most dangerous: gaslighting. Have you ever had someone twist a situation so much that you began to question your own memory? Maybe you were certain about what happened, but by the end of the conversation, you started thinking, was I overreacting? Am I misremembering? That's gaslighting, and it's designed to make you doubt yourself until you trust their version of reality more than your own. But gaslighting isn't the only trick manipulators use. Think about reverse psychology. Has anyone ever told you, "Oh, you probably can't do it," only for you to immediately feel the urge to prove them wrong? Or maybe someone encouraged you to do something extreme, knowing you'd want to rebel against it. That's reverse psychology in action. Simple, but shockingly effective. Now, let's talk about something even sneakier: choice restriction. Imagine being told you can either study or clean the whole house. Of course, you'll choose the easier option, but did you really have a choice? Or were you guided into exactly what they wanted? That's the brilliance of restricted options. It makes you feel like you're in control, when really you're not. Here's another question. Have you ever felt guilt tripped? Someone says, "After everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me." Suddenly, you feel bad, even if you weren't wrong. That's emotional blackmail at work. It plays on your empathy and guilt, turning your own emotions into a weapon against you. And then there's love bombing. At first, it feels amazing. Endless compliments, affection, attention. But ask yourself, is it genuine or is it a setup? Once you're hooked, manipulators can flip the script, making you feel guilty if you don't respond the way they want. It's control disguised as kindness. But manipulation isn't always emotional. Sometimes it's logical, or at least it pretends to be. Take scarcity tactics. Only 2 left in stock. Limited time offer. Do you really want that product, or do you want it because you're afraid of missing out? Scarcity preys on your fear of loss, rushing you into decisions you might not otherwise make. Or what about moving the goalposts? Maybe you've worked hard to meet someone's expectations, only for them to suddenly say, "That's not enough. You need to do more." Have you noticed how exhausting that feels? That's the point. It keeps you chasing approval you'll never fully get. Some tactics are even more subtle. Blame shifting, turning the problem back on you. Selective truth-telling, leaving out just enough information to mislead you. Pretending to forget, conveniently avoiding responsibility. Or even playing the victim, making you feel guilty for confronting them. And then there's one of the most powerful: isolation. Have you ever known someone who tried to distance you from friends or family, saying they don't really understand you? Or, "You don't need them, you have me"? The goal is simple. The fewer outside voices you hear, the easier you are to control. So here's the big question. If manipulation is everywhere, how can you protect yourself? The first step is awareness. The moment you recognize a tactic, it loses some of its power. If someone tries gaslighting you, remind yourself, my memory matters. My feelings are valid. If you feel rushed into a decision, pause and ask, am I acting because I want to, or because I feel pressured? And here's something else to think about. Not all manipulation looks negative at first. Flattery, kindness, even helpfulness can be tools in disguise. So next time someone showers you with compliments, ask yourself, are they building me up, or are they softening me up? In the end, manipulation works because it plays on human psychology. Our desire to be liked, our fear of rejection, our craving for belonging. Once you know the tactics, you can see the game being played. When you see the game, you can choose not to play. So let me leave you with this. Which of these tactics have you noticed in your own life? Have you ever caught yourself being manipulated, or even, without realizing, using these strategies on others? Because the truth is, everyone falls for manipulation sometimes. How the real question is, will you recognize it next time?